prove to the world that over the next 2.5 billion years here, before we got to check out to the next planet, there is at least 10 to the 31st power dollars in our future. Then we bring it forward to today, and we say we're going to take 10% of that and put it in our U.S. Treasury. 10% of all the future value that's coming ahead for the next 2.5 billion years, we account for it, we show how it's going to happen, bring it forward, take 10%, put it in the Treasury. 10% of 10 to the 31st power dollars is 10 to the 30th dollars. So 10 to the 30th dollars compared to 10 to the 16th dollars is you would think it's like double, because 10 to the 16th, 10 to the 30th, that's about 2 times as much. But no, 10 to the 16th dollars, when you double it, is 2 times 10 to the 16th. So 10 to the 30th is 10 times, 10 times, 10 times, 16 times over again. 16 multiples of 10 is 10,000 trillion. 10,000 trillion times as much. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Right. Okay. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right. Good. Twice. I got it right. Yeah. So 10,000 trillion times as much as the people in control now have, we prove is in the future. Then we take 10% of that, which is 1,000 trillion times as much as what who has now, and we put it in the U.S. Treasury, in the government treasury. Then we help the states get some of that. We distribute through reassessment, and basically the U.S. Treasury says, okay, this is the United States, we're going to buy it all back and then sell it back to you again. We'll buy it all from you at this new value that shows what's in the future, and then we'll sell it back to you for half as much as we buy it, so that you'll end up with money in the bank, and so will we, so that we get the money into the states' banks too. And now we're set for all our children and grandchildren, because it's in trust accounts, lock and key, time release, like the contact cold capsules. So no one's going to go out and spend big parties and have too much money and, you know, out of control inflation. No, because the allowance come in only a certain amount. God willing, who hopes? That's why I haven't been around. I've been figuring stuff like that out in my little room with the internet and the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal and Washington Post and all those guys. And now finally getting back to you guys, and hopefully we'll be able to do it together. Of course, I'm so honest that people figure we can... Oops. What's going on here? Oh, there we go. We can take him out, we can cook his goose, he's too honest, but you know, God willing, we do it together. It won't rely on any one person being a charismatic cult thing of only this person is good, only this person can do it. No, this person shares ideas with everybody. We can all do it together. God willing, who hopes? How you doing? You want to play tug of war now? Hi. God willing, I hope. Thanks. Yeah, Mecca, this is your idea of fun, huh? Good dog.
Have a good night.
Yes, unto you. Please request that when the traffic pattern hours are low, we can get alternate routes like we used to be able to go down the stairs and stuff. It makes a big difference psychologically. Some like this, people with their families and the young kids, if they can go down the stairwell, show them the painting and Manifest Destiny and Utica Regained and stuff.
All right, we'll pass that along.
Thanks. Thanks. Good, Mecca. Oh, there's a bunch of people on the lawn. Good. Good, Mecca. Yeah, you caught it. Good, Mecca. You got it. Oh, but your leg is in it. What are we going to do? Good. Good, Mecca. Good, Mecca. Good, Mecca. Yeah. Yeah, you're having fun. Good. Good, Mecca. Here's water. You want some water? I could drink some water. This one. Alhamdulillah. Hallelujah. Hi. Good, Mecca. Good, Mecca. Answering questions for 2 hours. Good, Mecca. Took a lot longer to go down than to come up. Maybe I pushed the wrong button to go down. UL. Here's the second floor. I haven't been here in a long time. The first floor.
Floor UL. Going up.
Good. And what else do you or I need to know, Mecca? Senate Gallery checked item pickup. Housekeeper. Yeah. House gallery. Oh. Perfect find what, Mecca? You smell everyone going up there? Good, Mecca. Hi.
See you later.
Yeah, God willing, I hope. Maybe I should ask when the votes due. Not everyone has the internet. Good, Mecca. Hi. Yeah. There. Good, Mecca. Good. 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 Hi. Hi. There's that red container there. Good, Mecca. Yeah, good, Mecca. Oh, I didn't ask about the vote when it was due. Exhibition Hall, out of many, one. E pluribus unum. That's Al Gore's translation instead of out of one, many. Good. Oh, you're gonna nip at my thumb. Yeah. Good, Mick. Good. You got some energy back. Thank you for visiting the United States Capitol. It's not fair. Push. Says when building is closed to public, push door until alarm sounds. Here's a big fan here. We came out the wrong side again. Feels like rain, huh, Mecca? Gotta use the detangler on you. Global climate change. You hunting those three birds up there, Mecca? I'm thinking about where the guy with the cell phone is would be where the other officer should be, guarding your head. How are you doing, who?
Oh, not bad. How about yourself?
Okay, trying to think who you remind me of. Not sure. You feel familiar.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I've seen you around. I know you very well.
Yeah, we've been around for a while. How are you doing?
Not bad.
All right.
Not bad, not bad.
Are you getting enough duty shift rotations?
Yeah,
Good.
definitely. It's a nice day, too, so you can't complain, you know?
Well, maybe. It's April 11th, I think. Usually it should be a little bit more like spring. It's kind of like summer today.
Yeah, it went straight from winter to summer.
Yeah.
Skip the spring.
So,
She likes the grass, huh?
yeah, I ate some grass earlier and threw up, and maybe eating some more now. Some of the grass has poison on it, but I don't see any of the yellow flags here, so I assume it's okay here. But you go up there, and I'm not sure on the Senate side, but on the House side, they had these yellow flags that said poison.
And that's how they get their stomach better. I think
Yeah.
it helps them with their stomach.
Yep, yep, it's perfectly natural.
Nice dog.
Yeah, the only hazard is the little children moving by quickly or coming close. The dog wants to play with them and kind of leaps and jumps and wants to be frisky, and the kids aren't used to that. So, got to work on that.
He's pretty well behaved.
Yeah, but I'll get like President Obama came on the TV when we were in line. I start responding to what he's saying. I get all wrapped up in that. Fortunately, I had Mecca on the 4-foot leash.
Yeah.
So the little boy on the, you know how it bends around the stanchions and stuff, the line weaves. He's right here, Mecca jump up, and he surprised, but Mecca didn't cross over the line or anything, so no harm done, but I got it.
He doesn't nip, does he?
When I'm playing with Mecca, yeah, Mecca will kind of come right in here and gently, but never bite to hurt, no.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, but with little kids, I don't know. They, so I guess I have to get a family going, have some kids for Mecca to get used to playing with kids.
That's the only way for them to get used to it.
Yeah.
Get them exposed to it.
Yeah,
Little by little.
yeah.
You take them to dog parks?
There's some other dogs around that Mecca's playing with, yeah, but haven't really found a dog park. That's a good idea.
Yeah, just to get them used to like the other dogs, and
Yeah,
if there's kids in the area also.
yeah, yeah. Well, we got to go meet a homeless buddy at this point here, so
Alright, Bill.
nice chatting with you, buddy.
Same here. Take care of yourself, okay?
Okay, will do. You too. Come on, Mecca. Come on. That's good. Come on. That's good. Come on, Mecca. As long as we're all smart enough to take off a shoe, we can all walk on the grass without killing it or us. Mecca! Come on. Good. Private. Right. This is Mecca. Private. Ritz. Red. Watch out for carbon monoxide, Mecca. Hi. God willing, who hopes, see whom. Good. Oh, there's the dog who likes to chase the ball, Mecca. Yeah, and the cherry blossoms are starting to fall already. Yeah, you want to play. Good, okay. Come on, Mecca. Let these guys play. Three breaths, Mecca. One breath. Two breaths. Okay, three breaths, Mecca. Come on. Come on, Mecca. That's good. Come on. Come on, Mecca. Come on, Mecca. Come on, Mecca. Yeah. Come on, Mecca. Out of the tulips. Come here. Good. Come on. Oh. Oh. You smell Mecca. Three breaths, Mecca. One breath. Two breaths. Okay, three breaths, Mecca. Come on. Let's go around this way. Ah. Hi. 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 Hello. Good, Mecca. Good, Mecca. Hi. 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 Hey. Hi, Delbert. How you doing? Yeah. Perfect. Be friendly, Mecca. You should be so friendly to Sally.
What you been up to?
Pretty low for since I last saw you. Finally sort of got right about this morning when I woke up, I guess. But man, how have you been?
Oh, hanging in there. I finally had some luck. Got us a new toy.
All right.
Yeah.
Toshiba 1.5 terabyte. USB 3.0 and 2.0. Great.
You'd be able to copy about 4 months worth of videos on there probably.
Yeah.
I don't know how many hours are you taking a day?
It varies from 1 hour to 10 or 16 hours on a really big day, yeah.
At 10 hours a day, it would hold about 5 months, but then you're going to have to subtract for formatting and for loss off the end of the file. And for 10 hours a day, it'd be almost 5 months, I think. Like 150 days.
At 2 gigabytes an hour, is that what you figured?
At 1.
1 gigabyte an hour.
That's all that one is. Whereas other formats like that AVI format, I think is 2 gigabytes now.
Yeah.
But those things I think are hitting about 1 gigabyte.
Yeah.
Because the one thing is,
yeah, I guess that's right. Yeah.
It's a little small.
Yeah.
You know, the resolution's low.
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe it is about 1 gigabyte an hour. Yeah.
So that'd be 1,500 hours. That 1 gigabyte an hour. But you have to subtract down some because the formatting takes some space, and then the file. You end up having file blocks, and you'll be wasting a little bit off the last block.
Yeah.
Depending on what your file size is versus your block size, you may lose a whole bunch. Usually it's not so bad, but back when they come out with they had versions of like DOS 4 and 5 came out.
Yeah.
Well, there's this program that people got to want to run on the PC that had come available, but you can get thousands and thousands of files to go with it. But it so happened to be that there were just a little, the new version of DOS was trying to handle the higher capacity drives. So it went from like 1K blocks to 4K blocks. but every file was like just over 4K. By like it was like 4K and 12 bytes, you know. And so you got a whole second file block allocated to that file, but then you barely put like 10 or 20 bytes in it or something, you know, not much, or less than a fourth of it. And so basically, if you went from the old version of DOS to the new version of DOS, and you had like double the hard drive space, you would still use up all your space. You didn't have any additional space because the files ended up wasting so much.
Yeah. Hi, perfect. Be friendly, dog. Good dog. Yeah, I got to learn to keep one eye on Mecca.
Yeah.
Well,
that was something else. Everybody go buy a bigger hard drive and then try to load that program and find out I still ain't got extra space.
Yeah, right. Because of that. So,
hey, I have a donation.
So, what do you want to do? You want me to fill this up with your videos and stuff, so you have a copy of?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you might want to just have an off-site backup of your stuff. So just
Yeah.
you could probably like you have to. I don't know if the Apple will let you tell you how much file space you're using, and like if you grab a folder, you can ask in Windows you can ask for properties on the folder.
Yeah.
Or sometimes I think like you can even grab multiple folders, and then when you right click on it, you choose properties, and then it tells you how many files and subfolders and things there are that were selected. But sometimes you need a lot more. Well, actually, the new versions of Windows tell you the file space, the contents size, and then it also tells you the size on the disk.
Okay.
And so if you see that, if your other one uses, the other drive uses the same block sizes, then you could expect similar disk space usage.
Okay. Okay.
You just have to see how much you can get on there. The main ones is in December and January.
Okay.
I don't know how you got, if you were pretty religious about like make a new folder every month or something.
I have to make a new folder for every iPod.
Yeah.
So I got like 5 or 6 folders per day with 2.
See, that makes a lot of work doing all that.
Yeah, it's really
That's why I'm saying that one device would be really nice. It could run for 17 hours. Just put some glue or some screws on there or something to keep that cable attached, you know. Well, I tried calling that guy, and he was too busy with his ulterior motives to even sell the product.
Did he talk to you?
Yeah, I called him on the phone, but then he was too busy. He had plenty of time to carry on about, oh, there ain't no payphones left in America. But he ain't got no time to tell me what the total price is so I can get a money order sent to him. No, he can't have that. He's got to have my email address. Every angle he's going to try to tell me what I have to do so he can get that email address.
Wow.
You know, oh, you got to go online. You know, insist you got to go online.
Why can't he do it by phone?
That email address. And I go, well, I'm not trying to order it over the internet. I'm trying to ask you for the total price, including the tax, that I need to get a money order made out from the post office so I can mail it to you. Then he ends up pulling off his crap and won't act like, oh, I can't do business with you. Yeah, because you want my email address, and I don't have an email address to give you. You know, want that credit card number or something, you know, you got to use PayPal, you know. You know, all that same crap.
Oh, maybe
like
he's worried the federal government get involved.
Well, the president's pimping certain websites, and you should have to use one of them websites, you know, or we're not going to do business with you. Well, see, either I should use PayPal, you know, and give him, I should use PayPal and give him my email address, or he don't want your money, you know. Don't send me no money. I don't want your money. Don't get here. And it's like, well, guess what? That Federal Reserve money's been no good for me for a long time. And they be trying to force me off of it, and I saved them the trouble. I told them to take me off that dollar and prosecute it. And you ain't seen them do it yet. Instead, you know how many trillions of additional dollars they've released out into the world? And they told you we're going to do it for a whole nother year.
It's $80 billion a month that the Federal Reserve is releasing, I read.
Well, they had $1 trillion out floating around, and they're going to make it $5 trillion out floating around. That was the plan. And so they got 1 year left.
Yeah.
So I guess they've already leased like 3
Look at
billion
you hunting
probably.
that guy. Yeah, but it's still only 10 to the 12th. There's 10 to the 12th, and then there's 10 to the 16th about is what the fiefdoms have now holding us down, the 10 to the 16th, and then there's 10 to the 30th.
Yeah. Well, see, one thing that happens, whatever number you use in physics and science, well, then that's how much debt we can run up.
Yeah.
You know, kind of thing. So what's the age of the universe?
10 to the 9th. It's only 10 to the 9th something.
They saying it's like 13.8 now. They used to say 14.7. But then, how are they using that number in your game of God?
It's only billions of years old, I think.
Well, there's a lot of transactions, things that are going on. They're $14 billion.
$14 billion.
So do you ever think that you can do your crime thing in increments of the age of the universe?
Yeah. There's about, what, 2 to 4 billion years left before Red Nova.
In this one case, they did double the age of the universe. They did $28 billion.
So, yeah, people having fun with color numbers, I've been so out of it, I haven't been able to cook or clean, and I don't have my backpack with me today because of trying to get in there, the Underground Visitor Center.
You know, on your computer, sometimes the USB ports are different versions.
USB ports are different versions.
So, you know, like if you older computer, the middle age computers with USB, they have they'll have a couple of ports that are one, and then on the other side, that's a USB 2 port.
Yeah.
And you get used to, for whatever reason, want to plug in on one side because that's what handed you are, or that's the side you got your printer on or something. Yeah. And then you don't realize that you're getting slower speed than necessary, or maybe the fast one's on the back instead of the front or something. Or vice versa. So,
then there's also USB 2 that'll charge and USB 2 that will not charge.
Oh, yeah?
I
well,
think.
see, this uses USB 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But that 2 is a lot slower than the 3.
Yeah.
And for transferring all that files, it's going to take a long, long time if you try to do it and you're on the USB 2 port. Yeah. And if you would have only put it in the other port on the other side of the computer, well, it would have only took like 8 hours instead of 3 days or something. Yeah. I'm not sure what the speeds are, but it'll make a big difference.
Okay, December,
Ain't it like
January.
10 times faster, I think? 3 versus 2? So if it took you 1 day on 3, it would take you 10 days on 2. That's a big difference.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, like, depending on what happens when something gets interrupted, sometimes it's good to do it piecewise. But if you don't provide, you ain't got too many pieces that you end up losing track of where you split it.
Right,
you know?
right. I do
Otherwise,
know.
it's easier to just grab it all and drop it at one time and hope nothing goes wrong.
Yeah.
Because see, like, you got a lot of long file names, and I don't know if you're going to exceed the file name limit on there.
I don't know.
And then one thing they like to do is they like to make a My Documents folder, and they want you to put your stuff in there. But little you know, this is an index folder, and so it's going to take a long time to put your stuff on there because Windows is trying to index it too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And so what you need to do,
Mecca!
so that I don't like putting my stuff in My Documents folder because everybody feels obliged to clean. You know, they got all these cleaning programs. They just delete everything you ain't touched in a while. You know. But the thing to do is to make a new folder in the root directory.
Yeah, right.
And give it a short name.
Yeah.
You know, and then you can put everything inside that folder. It should default to be a non-index normally. At least it used to. But then also, if you put a long folder name on there and then you got long file names, because sometimes, like when you save a web page, it uses the title of the window. Other times it uses another title. It'll be really long. And then when you try to copy your files over onto like an external drive like that, you exceed the file link, the path of the file, not just the file name, but the whole path included. And if you're just a couple of letters short,
it doesn't automatically truncate
file
it.
Name for a folder, you had it like several folders let deep, you know, trying to organize your stuff.
Yeah.
And then it really sucks if you get interrupted over a couple of letters, and you wouldn't have if you would have made a
It should
folder
automatically
shorter.
truncate the file name.
But it wants to skip it all together.
Yeah, it should
And then if
truncate
you have
it.
very many, good luck finding it. And you know, when you skip, did it just skip from there down, or just skip to one
It doesn't
file?
tell you what it skipped, yeah.
And I find out that Windows has all kinds of things they've been doing over the years. Microsoft has to help you lose your data. And then, oh, it's your own fault. Did you were careless monkey? Didn't know what you were doing.
The most basic question is, I probably need to format the drive for Windows for you.
No, it's already formatted.
Oh, okay.
And it says it's formatted to NTSF or whatever it is. NTFS.
And that'll
or
handle
Windows.
either or?
And then when you plug that into your Mac, it's
Yeah.
supposed to automatically, you know, when it does the plug and play, load the driver so that your Mac knows how to talk to an NTSF drive.
Okay.
And so then when you put the files over there, well then when you hook it to a Windows computer, it'll just be in its Windows native format.
Yeah, there is a question.
Then you'll have clashes over like what characters are allowed in the file name, what the file name length is, and everything. But and I know you got some with pretty long names.
Very
so I
long
don't know
names,
if you
yeah.
exceeded or not. But I had a problem when I saved on web pages. Sometimes it saves with a really long name and you don't notice it, you know. And then when you try to copy it, like it'll fit it on the thumb drive, but then when you copy it to the external drive, then it doesn't fit. It's like, bummer.
Yeah, right. So you got to do it kind of like day by day, and
But it take you forever if you're dropping them day by day. It's
Yeah.
going to be 100 drops, and it's going to take a while for each one.
yeah.
You might just go for, a lot of people, they just go for it. You know, they just want to grab it all and drop it and let it do
Well, I do have everything on
But
external
the trick
drives
is to
already.
do it at a time when you can leave it undisturbed.
Yeah, how long can it run before it burns out, though?
Well, it shouldn't burn out, but you know, if you end up bumping the computer.
Yeah,
maybe
right, I
you
do know,
Oh,
yeah.
let me clean the house
Yeah.
while I was doing that.
Yeah,
kind of
right.
thing.
I do know.
You know, if you're going to be gone, then
But I would
drop
think if
it
it's
and
going to
let it
run for a couple of days, it would start to overheat after a couple
Yeah,
of days.
well, some things they design it where it overheats, but they're expecting you to use it intermittently.
Yeah,
but
right.
it can cool off in between.
Yeah.
And so you drop, you know, a terabyte on there, and all of
Yeah.
a sudden you burn it up.
Right, yeah. It should have some kind of pause thing when the temperature
Yeah.
gauge and well, good for you, Radio Shack. Thank you.
Yeah. That's about all they got around here where I know is anything's that. But like Seagate's got a drive, and but it didn't sound like it was really. It says you can use it on the Mac or on Windows, but they don't want you going back and forth.
Right.
See, this one's going to let you go back and forth, and so that's a lot more convenient.
It certainly is, yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully, you just plug that in your Mac, and you may have to to load that NTSF driver. I guess, or it may just do it all automatically as part of the plug and play, and not even say anything to you.
Yeah.
But what I would do is create a short name folder in the
Root directory, yeah.
and then put everything inside that one. So we just pick some little short name.
Yeah, like Delbert.
Yeah.
It looks like it's in the original packaging, never been
Yeah,
used,
brand
so
new.
it should be virus free, hopefully.
That's what you want.
Yeah.
They shipped it to you with the virus.
Blister packs.
Well, they have that one disc. They're bragging they have distributed to all these different countries. So it's like, what if they have their super virus on there?
Yeah.
But thumb drives, so the price have been dropping a whole bunch because people have been releasing these higher, 1, 2, and 3 terabyte, and I think they may even have 4 terabytes, at least up to 3 terabyte drives out. So they dropped the prices, I guess, trying to unload the inventories of thumb drives.
Oh, I didn't know
But
that.
it was something like about $90 or something for 128 gigabyte. you know, you're having to shake your head. Gigabyte? You know, you sure that ain't megabyte? But you know, the thumb drive's pretty reliable. You know, in terms of you carrying it around, it ain't getting destroyed if you got bumped.
Yeah.
You know, you jump off something a little too high and
Yeah.
it knocks out your hard drive, but that
Yeah.
thumb drive survived, you know. And you know, the floppy disks were never no fun because you're trying to use them in your backpack with your books and put them in your locker and stuff. They're just going to get bent, they're going to get dirty and stuff.
Yeah, you need an alternative somewhere between the home computer and the cloud. There means an intermediate where you go.
Know, well, they come out with something new, but that doesn't mean it's even worth spending your money on. And a lot of times they specifically engineer a device to make it not worth it. You know, if it won't run but for 8 hours, that's not very good because I waste so much time putting data in there, and then you run the battery down and lose your data in less than a day's time. If you know, like if you inadvertently left it on or you were using it a bunch. And like one time they had these calculators, and you know what, you could either get the little door thing, you know, the battery door.
Yeah.
Well, you get just the flat door, panel door, and you put regular one-time batteries in there.
Yeah.
Or you could get a door that's got a rechargeable battery pack.
Yeah.
You know, that you put in there. And so a lot of times people would buy the 2 packs, and that way you could be charging on one while you're using the other.
Yeah.
But you can't even go to class and take a test without it running down. You have to swap the other battery pack in. So like when you go home and try to do your homework, instead of sitting down and doing your homework while you feel like it, no, you got to start messing with your battery packs. They weren't charged up, it wasn't plugged in, it was loose or something. Or you know, the first thing you know, somebody's interrupted you and you've run your battery's got run down or something.
Yeah.
And by the time you sit around waiting an hour for your battery pack to charge up, well then you've gotten busy goofing off. You know, and you don't feel like doing your work. And then, well, what made it really bad though is it got to the point that you could get some rechargeable batteries and stick them in there, and that calculator would go for 1.5 years. Meanwhile, the other guys are still messing around trying to keep their battery packs recharged and can never do anything because they're too busy using their brain cycles thinking about the state of charge of the battery packs, and which one's which and stuff. And see, it frees you. Don't have to worry about it. Just put it, but it's kind of weird that them new batteries would run that calculator for 1.5 years. It's hard to believe. But I guess some of it is, I don't know how much they may have reduced the power consumption of those calculators from one version to the next. But definitely, the batteries, you know, they improve them from 1 year to so much from 1 year to another. But then, like if they put an auto shutdown thing on there, like maybe on the new version's got it and the old one didn't or something. It's so that way you don't just flatten out your batteries right away if you inadvertently leave it on. And so, you know, it's a world of difference.
What we need though is something like the self-storage locker, and when you go there you take your external drive or you take your optical discs and you put them all manually there onto a backup drive, and you leave it there off the cloud, and then you got everything backed up at home and on a remote site, but you didn't have to use the internet or the cloud.
Well, you know, that data center that Google built, they're telling you that they have like 3 million computers, but there were 300 million Americans. So that means that they have a computer per 100 people. That computer can hold how much data for 100 people? They can hold your name and your number, and all your credit card transactions, all your Google searches. You know, and so they got all sorts of information they can store up on you without many computers and things. And see, people have been itching for a long time to like get to terabyte class storage capacity. I remember when the university was all excited that they had, trying to think, they may have, I don't even think it was a gigabyte, maybe it was, but they had their multi-user computer and everything, and they were all excited, like, all together they had 1 gigabyte. They had like one 500 megabyte drive, and then they had several other drives that were another 500 altogether. So they had like 1 gigabyte of storage space on that computer. Actually, it was a cluster of 3 computers, I think. And so they were so excited, they had like 1 gigabyte of data storage.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it was hooked to the supercomputer, and then they're trying to get it to where instead of you working directly on the supercomputer, interfacing with it directly, what you do is you work on the other computers, and then finally you submit a job, and then it gets transferred over to the supercomputer and ran. And that way the supercomputer is doing the number crunching, not trying to do the user interactivity so much.
Yeah, Mecca, you missed that terrier, huh?
How many of them dogs does they remember from one time to the next?
Yeah, we got a
I
straight.
think they just get excited meeting dogs. I don't know how much of them they actually remember which ones, but sometimes they probably do.
Yeah, yeah.
Dogs.
Come here, Mecca. Let's straighten out your leash here on your collar. You remember Delbert, huh?
All these stupid bags to get all fluffy. They be giving me a hard time about these bags yesterday.
Why?
They'll probably try to do it again tonight.
You're not
Well,
allowed?
they've hired out to be a bully. They're getting paid for it.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to use their job to be on the power trip, no matter what the job is. Somehow they finagle it around where they have power over everybody. I'm the queen, I'm the king, whatever it is.
Well, they might be afraid of losing their job because someone says you didn't shoo somebody
Well, don't
away.
let me in the room and then call after me and then start harassing me about having a bag in the room. You're the one that let me in the bedroom with the bag. And then start proclaiming, oh, we have a new policy, you can't come in here. And
Well,
it's like, yeah, did you just dream that policy up just now?
You need a copy of the U.S. Constitution and say no law shall be made abridging my right of free speech and assembly. And here I am to petition.
Well, the same thing they do at the store. You know, they want to sit there and chase after you and attack you. But then when you speak up, oh, get quiet. Then forget, let it go. Forget about it. You know, they'll be, don't worry about it. You're attacking me and you're going to tell me don't worry about it? That's like people kidnapping me, telling me to ignore the negatives.
Yeah, lead us not into temptation. Should I ask, do you have the receipt for the drive?
Yep.
Should I get that from you also so that I can prove that it's all legit? Or
Who are you going to prove to?
I don't know, the world, but I don't want to tempt you to not have the receipt, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I got to have it so that way in case if it don't work, we can take it back.
Okay, can you show it to me? Should I be that methodical?
Yeah, it's legit, huh? What do you think I've been doing the last months?
Well, you know me, I'm usually a very trusting person. I hardly ever ask any questions, but...
I was going to get a discount and I would have had it a long time ago.
all this talk about background checks and verification, and maybe that's what makes me think that way. We could maybe get a salad or something if you want to...
Well, when they do their background checks, maybe they should actually investigate what was going on to cause that person to have a bad mark on their background.
Yeah.
And maybe you should take it and not let the people that were attacking that guy have guns. And maybe you should give that guy a gun.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah, see, that might be a better solution instead of being part of the problem.
Yeah, well, what we could do is make it so anything that's been resolved goes in your private file, and then you get a screen name that people check, and if you've resolved that, they don't find out about things that have been resolved unless there's like a court order. Let's see, I'll give it back to you. It's stapled and everything, good.
See, 1.5.
You've been 1.5 Toshiba.
Should have a date on there somewhere.
$119, $5.11. You got it today, man. Good job,
And you
Delbert.
already found the date?
Item sold. Yeah,
right
register
there,
number,
511.
everything. Radio Shack. Good job, Delbert.
Pay
Tell
with
us-
exact change.
Wow. I didn't see that.
No, not exact change. I forgot.
Close to
I
it,
give them
huh?
whole dollars.
You got 81 cents change.
6%. I thought they were charging 10% tax on almost everything.
Dude.
I was expecting them to tell me 132. Because everything's I guess it's food or something has 10% tax on it.
I didn't know that.
Well, some of the stores are charging 10%, it looks like. Ain't that like McDonald's doing that?
I don't know. I don't have a timer going. That's what I just realized here, so I might be off. I better check my timer.
Yeah, that hour goes by pretty quick.
Yeah, this one's doing well here. I better... Now, you got to realize that a lot of that December and January stuff, man, you're really speedy on those memories, and that you've showed like a vast improvement since then. And you might want to balance those videos, make sure that the current ones are also on the same drive. So if anyone says, "Man, how you were talking a blue streak, man, you must have been really speedy," you can say, "Yeah, but look at these tapes here. These are files." And
if you don't talk fast, the video will be really, really long.
Yeah. So there's a vast improvement.
I can't believe they don't make players where like you can single frame step through them. And then even when you can, it's a pain because, you know, there's a lot of frames to go through. But
Yeah.
still, you always want to stop on a particular frame or something. But like that one guy's video, they got it chopped up into like 44 pieces. So that's a little laborious trying to get the 44 pieces.
Yeah.
And like here, your transfer of the file will get interrupted or something. It doesn't give you an error. You just won't have a complete file.
Ah, that's
But
not
then,
right.
like Windows Media Player, depending on the file format, will start playing it. But then when you get down there to wherever it drops out, well, your computer's going to spaz out. Who knows what's going to happen? But you know, it's a bummer when you don't give a message saying that you had a problem.
Yeah,
with the
that's...
file. And you know, because of the way they calculate their megabytes and stuff, you never know for sure. You know, was it just kind of rounding error in the way that they're writing the megabytes, or was it or did it get interfered with? You're not sure.
Yeah, I noticed that the copies are usually a few megabytes larger than the originals.
Well, that's what happens when the virus comes on there.
But I see it on everyone.
But it's nice if you download the file and it tells you how many bytes you started with and how many bytes you got.
Yeah.
That way you can know that I got the whole file.
Yeah. I can get that, but I got to look at 2 different windows.
But, you know, I've downloaded files and, you know, the modem's supposed to give you errors. You know, your whole transfer process should have gave you errors.
Yeah.
You got all these CRC checks and things, you know, on the transfer of pieces of the file.
Yeah.
And then on the file itself. And then, like, if it's an executable, it's supposed to do a CRC check when you execute the executable.